Hey there. It's only been like an eternity or something. Uh, I'm trying to check in, build this YouTube channel again. I got into some pretty messed up places in life, and uh, I actually have free time now because a lot of stuff happened, and things are different. And reflecting on this, I was watching a YouTuber that I like that I think is pretty wholesome, and he makes me feel pretty good when I watch his content. And I came across a video of somebody who wanted to portray him as a lolcow, and it made me very, very frustrated. And I wanted to know why. Like, why is this frustrating me? And I came to the conclusion that lolcow culture is just real toxic, man. And I've been engaging with it for years. And I'm beginning to kind of see the error of my ways. I used to consume this since I was 17. I used to watch, Christian Weston Chandler documentaries and really learn about these weird people because they're really interesting, right? But I'd watch it before bed. And I watched them because it made me feel better about myself. Because when I was 17, I thought I was going to fail high school. I wasn't too great, and I wanted to watch these videos because I didn't have a great time in my life. And I thought that, well, at least I'm not this loser. My life sucks, but at least I'm not this guy. And I really think that maybe that mentality is kind of what feeds into the lolcow culture, is this sense of superiority. And when you really think about what you're watching, what you're consuming, you're watching a disabled person, a person in poverty, a person with addictions, a person who has real problems. You're watching them like they're entertainment, and you're not actually seeing what's there. Maybe if they got therapy, maybe if people actually cared about them instead of seeing them as entertainment, perhaps it'd be different. But, there's also this argument that they feed into it. The cow likes to make content, they like the attention, and that's also true, but I think it really reflects on the viewer and the person commentating on the cow. I really do. I think it reflects about who we are more so than the cow itself when it comes to lolcow culture. I think that the content that we're milking from them is actually a form of bullying and harassment that has been packaged neatly on YouTube as entertainment, and that makes me really sad to think about, actually. I would really like to be more compassionate. I think that maybe this has hardened me a little bit, made me feel like I'm better than other people in some ways, and I'm not. I'm really not. I used to watch these videos daily, like Daniel Larson and Andrew Ditch and etc. I can't think of any at the moment, but I used to really watch these videos about them raging and them being trolled, and I thought it was so funny. But now that I think about it, I really just watch these videos to feel better about myself. And I was, in a pretty compromised position not too long ago, about 2 years ago, and I was living in a group home. I was trying to transition myself back into society because I was very, very mentally ill. And I would watch these videos, and I brought it up in therapy because I had weekly therapy, and they didn't make much comments on it, but I wish that my therapist had told me, hey, this type of content isn't very constructive. It's not helping you. It's probably contributing to you feeling very negative about yourself because you think you're a loser because you're watching these videos about people being made fun of. And it might be feeding into these insecurities that you have about yourself. And then, when you engage in this content, you are kind of absorbing that kind of toxic stuff. And I've been trying really hard to kind of get out all of these toxic content from my feed because I've been really engaging in things that have been ruining my mental health lately. And I think that perhaps having a more compassionate approach, taking this failure we have, or I have, I'm not going to say it, any of you have failed, but I have personally watched these Lolcow videos and I feel as though I have failed to acknowledge that that's a reflection of me. That reflects more on me than it does the person I'm watching. And that makes me quite sad. And I think that the ways that we can improve if you enjoy this type of content is maybe we could be more compassionate to people who have disabilities, people who have addictions, people who live in poverty, and people who are just really struggling out there. And it's just, I'm not better than anybody else. If I were to say anything at the end of this video to conclude, I just would say I'm not better than them. I just as easily could have been one of them because I've had really embarrassing psychotic breaks. And I have issues too. And it makes me think, wow, what am I doing? Yeah.